Good morning, everyone. I've got a few minutes to spare here in the office this morning. And I brought this radio in because I knew I was going to. And I wanted to do a bit of a medium wave band scan here in Toronto using these two radios. And I'll explain why I think that might be interesting. So this is an XHData D220. As you can see from the top, I've painted the marker there so it stands out a little better. I've got another video about that. This is interesting because this uses a stepping setting on the chip that performs well on medium wave in North America, where the distance between stations is 10 kilohertz, and in Europe and most of Asia, where it's 9 kilohertz. This is an XHData, well, I'll show you around the back, D219. This is a pretty brilliant shortwave radio, though it does have a tendency to overload. You can see from the fact that this starts at 522 that this is in fact the Asian model. So this is designed, and the chip in this is set to step in 9 kilohertz increments. I've got a video with a similar radio where I kind of walk through what the problem with that is. Well, but effectively it means that it never quite tunes accurately to stations in North America. And you hear this by some otherwise strong signals sounding good and some sounding reduced because they're not tuned in properly. And some stuff that would be possible to get in with this radio, and it's really pretty decent, I think. But I don't have a good point of comparison, again, because it doesn't work properly here in Toronto. So what that means is that it's not a great medium wave radio. It's still an excellent FM radio and a really quite interesting shortwave radio, although a bit of a tendency to overload. So I thought maybe we could see the difference between these two of them, the two of these, and let's start with this one. We'll get down to the bottom, make sure it's on medium wave AM there. Sorry for reflecting the fluorescent lights at you. I'll turn it on. So you can hear the effect there. Loud. That's CBC medium wave in French. I've turned it up a bit.
TireRack.com/Dan.
So you can hear the effect, right? That some parts of the dial are quiet because the station centers aren't lining up, right? It's not tuning properly, and some parts of the dial are loud. And I did adjust the volume about halfway through. Okay, so let's try this same thing with the D220, which is smaller radio. It's got, I don't think this has a huge ferrite. My memory is it's about like that. I think sitting below the speaker here. This probably, I have opened this radio, but I don't really remember if the ferrite's bigger, probably bigger in the 219.
The people of the region. Yeah, and
usher in that kind of change. Keeping an eye on right now, 5.
I'll just point out that there's a lot more here, right? You're losing stations on the 219.
On s'introduit en fait avec son body.
Again.
30 days that was in place.
It's a new donor.
We're at 396. Available in tablet or gummy.
Good morning and welcome to Radio
Anyway, so I'm sure you can get the picture there that the D220 is for a pocket radio with a digital tuner. It's really quite an excellent medium wave performer, really pretty good, especially considering how inexpensive this is. The 219 is great if you get the North American version, right? This is the Asian or European version, and you can tell based on whether they've printed AM starting at 522 or 520. 520 would be the North American one. It's difficult to get in Canada. I tried to order one a couple of times and had to send them back because Amazon sent me this one instead, or another one of these instead. This is a tremendous value of a radio. This is probably, the D219 is probably the best value on the market. Sounds good. Sounds better than the 219 and sorry, the 220 and but if you can get the North American version, assuming you're in North America, if you're in Asia or Europe, this version is fine and readily available. Now there is also a I want to say 222, I can't quite remember, model, which is the same version where they've removed the second FM band here and replaced it with weather radio, which is a pretty good option for those of us in North America who might want the weather stations. Obviously, it's a fairly simple weather receiver. It doesn't have, doesn't automatically turn on a light or anything if there's a weather warning, but it does let you check it. Makes a nice emergency radio for the car or for camping or something like that. So, yeah, just goes to show that these products do improve over time, and I think as we see more different format radios based on this design, we're going to see some pretty interesting little stuff at some really aggressive price points. Thanks for watching.